I'm not going to introduce myself because if you don't know who I am, you probably shouldn't be here. On behalf of my husband and I would like to say thank you so much for coming to celebrate our love story. It is genuinely humbling to look out and see how many people love and care for us. We hope you enjoy the day and the party ahead of you. I'd like to start with my thank yous, of which there are many. Firstly, thank you so much to our families for their generosity in helping us have our dream wedding day. We are so appreciative of your support. Thank you to the groomsmen for making sure Joe actually turned up and also didn't drink too much pre the legal bits. To my bridesmaids for keeping me calm, hydrated and focused this morning and wiping my tears when it hit me that I was actually getting married. I am so blessed to have so many incredible, strong women in my life. In particular, I'd like to thank Sarah for not only making the lovely biscuits you have in front of you, but also navigating a flight and 2 buses with them, and a taxi, I believe. I think I missed that one out. And for being such a calming presence over the last 2 days. So Sarah came down on Thursday and she has just kept me sane since. Holly, my amazing sister and maid of honor, for not only organising an amazing hen do, but also for not going completely insane listening to me talk about the wedding constantly for the last year. I know you hate soppiness, but I love you so much, and I'm so lucky to have you as my little sister. I would also like to thank Kereth and my grandfather for such beautiful readings during our ceremony. To Joe's parents, Annie and Kevin, and also to Gaz and Julie, thank you for raising the man of my dreams and encouraging him to take a chance on a job in Cardiff. Katie, you knew you were getting a shout out. Thank you for telling me to take a chance on the nice guy. Look where it got me. And to my parents, thank you for all your support throughout my life, emotionally and financially. Mum and Dad, you have never doubted me and always believed I can achieve whatever I could set my mind to. I've also been told I need to give my mother a shout out for growing her nails for this wedding. Thanks for that, Alison. But really, we need to say congratulations both. You finally officially got rid of me. Before I talk about Joe, I would also like to acknowledge my grandparents. I am incredibly blessed that at 32 years old, I still have 3 of them in my life. They are so proud and supportive of everything I do. This year, 2 of them have managed to achieve 70 years of marriage, whilst Joe and I are on our first day. If Joe and I can have a marriage as happy and healthy as yours, we are incredibly blessed. Please raise a glass to Shirley and Alan on 70 years. Now, on to you, Joseph Kevin Seeley-Jones. My husband, my best friend, and the most amazing cat dad, even if Nova consistently tries to reject your love. I'm not entirely sure I can put into words how amazing you are, and I've promised not to be too soppy, so I'll try my best. The only thing you really wanted in this wedding was a green suit, which you got, but I hope this day is a reflection of our love story. Our story so far has been quite the adventure. I did not expect drunkenly inviting you out for a drink in Cardiff after hearing you didn't know anyone in the area would end up with me in a wedding dress. We have navigated you breaking your ankle on a roller skate, not even roller blades, a skate, a pandemic, a master's degree, a doctorate, buying a house and getting Nova, our fur baby. When I moved in during the pandemic, thinking it would only be a few weeks, I don't think I realised I was moving in permanently with my husband-to-be. The adventures we've been on so far have landed us at a beautiful destination, marriage. Joseph, you light up my life every day. You make me laugh, you make me happy beyond measure, and you complete me. You are the kindest, funniest, most handsome man, and I am so proud of you every day. You are my soulmate and the piece of me that I did not know was missing. Over the last 5 years, you've helped me heal from many of life's trials and tribulations, and you helped me learn to love myself. You often say you forget that we are different people, and I agree that we are extensions of each other. Each day with you is a joy, and I'm so blessed to call you my husband. The past has been incredible, but I cannot wait to see where the future takes us. If I could ask you all to raise a glass to the incredible man I get to call my husband, to Joseph.
Thank you, Rachel. Before we go on to Joe, who's just about to unleash himself here, I was just thinking, looking around, having worked on satellite TV for about the last 20 years, this is about as large an audience as I've ever spoken in front of. Here's the groom. Here's Joe.
I don't think I've ever unleashed myself before, so this will be interesting. I want to start by sharing my gratitude with all of you here today. Today's not only our wedding, but our 5-year anniversary. And we're so lucky to be able to celebrate both our past and our future with all of you here, our friends and family that we love so much. I'd also like to thank you for showing your love in return, not only by being here today, but also by eating vegan with us. So, it means the world to both of us that everyone was willing to do that, and there really is no better way for you all to have shown your love. It was that or a Bush Tucker trial. There are so many people who've helped make today what it is, and I know I speak for both Rachel and I when I say thank you for helping us reach our dream wedding. We truly wouldn't be here without your support. Thanks to the staff for all their hard work, and to the bridesmaids who outnumber them, thank you. Thank you for being by Rachel's side today. You all look beautiful. Rachel's so blessed to have such wonderful people who love and support her, and I know from my own interrogations just how much you care about her. Likewise, thanks to my groomsmen, and best men, Yuan and Jack. Your friendships mean the world to me. Unfortunately, Jack couldn't be here with us today, but we're all thinking of him and wishing him the best. Mum, Dad, thank you for everything you've given me, your guidance and support, and for raising me to be a man lucky enough to find my soulmate. Gaz and Julie, thank you to you two as well. A lot is said about separation, but its benefits aren't often mentioned. Growing up, I was able to see not one, but 3 examples of what a loving relationship is like. The double Christmas presents were also pretty good. I want to thank all of Rachel's family for raising the woman I fell in love with and being so welcoming of me from the start. I've never once felt like an outsider in your company. And while Holly may have had initial concerns about Rachel going out with a ginger, I think it's fair to say I've won her over. In fact, she's even joined the redheads herself. I'd like to thank Alison and Holly specifically for getting Rachel drunk enough to think asking her line manager out was a good idea. Coincidentally, that was the last time I could ever be considered the boss between the two of us. I've got pause from massive laughter there, so that was good. As nervous as I was going into that first date, I'd soon learned that I had nothing to be worried about. I'd never felt so comfortable with someone so fast, and I knew we had a special connection. As Smith and Joe walked home that night, Googling, how long should you wait before asking for a second date? It turns out that was a pointless exercise, because despite the internet's best advice, I simply couldn't wait, and I'd asked for one before I reached the steps of my flat. I think it's safe to say I made the right choice. Rachel, you are my person, my eternity. I am so proud to be able to say that I am your husband and you are my wife. In truth, there's only one thing in this world I'm prouder of: you as a person. Every day, you inspire me with your kindness and dedication to others. The way you always expect the best from yourself, but never question the faults of others. To be able to spend the last 5 years with you has been the joy of my life. To get to spend my future with you is more than I could ever have hoped for. Rachel often asks me how I can be so laid back. Well, here's my secret. I know I have Rachel behind me, constantly supportive and always ready to catch me if I fall. Likewise, Rachel has got me. Is it any wonder I'm the more relaxed of the two? I don't think it'll be a surprise to hear that Rachel planned the majority of the details for today. I, meanwhile, appointed myself in charge of morale. And while the credit for Rachel should rightfully go to her, I think it does show how our relationship works as well. It was a few months into the planning where Rachel shared she'd like me to be a bit more involved. We were coming back from one of our meetings with the venue, so I listened to my partner, and said how I think we should have round tables. Rachel quickly let me know that long tables were a deal breaker. And well, here we are. Looking out at all of you today, I can confidently say that Rachel, as always, made the right choice. So, with that in mind, please raise a glass with me in celebration of my wife, Dr. Rachel Louise Seeley-Jones, and a future where she's always right.
Thanks to Joe for a great speech there. One of the great groom speeches, I think. That really was brilliant. Joe was telling me earlier on, actually, that Rachel has been his teacher, his nurse, his chauffeur, his cook. What other games was it you said you played? I can't remember. Next up, it's The Father of the Bride. Wasn't that the title of a movie once? Here's Philip.
How do I follow such good speeches? Mine's very short compared to those two. Let me start. As you can see, I've written a speech some time ago, and it says, fill in the blanks with the groom's name. First of all, as Ian said, those who don't know me, I'm Rachel's dad. My speech has been approved by the Alison McElroy Jones Board of Control, and I would like to all celebrate Rachel and Joel's wedding on behalf of Alison and myself, especially to Joel's family. He's quite welcome. He's a lovely guy, and it's so well for him to be joined into our family. We also have family and friends who have travelled all over the UK, from Edinburgh, North Wales, London, Sidmouth. Also, I found out today we've had people from Guildford, Brighton, and we have Renee from Valencia in Spain.
She does live in Cardiff now.
Oh, sorry, she lives in Cardiff, sorry. That was a planned joke, that was. There are also family and friends who are no longer with us, so can we please raise a glass and a toast to absent family and friends? Yes. On a lighter note, it's surprising how far people will travel and turn up for a free meal on a Saturday afternoon. I'm also glad today has arrived, as Alison was getting very friendly on a first-name terms with Neil, the Amazon driver. Who has been delivering shoes, bags, dresses and hats on a daily basis. And in fact, Neil is here in the back. Boss. That's typical, isn't it? Yeah. I hope we got on video. Only joking. Neil has now taken 2 weeks holiday and he booked his van in for a service. Despite having 33 years to prepare for the Father of the Bride speech for Rachel.
32.
And Alison didn't spot that either after Ben's speech. I was thinking, wind in the head. I'm going downhill very quickly. Despite having 32 years to prepare for the Father of the Bride speech for Rachel, I'm still left standing here today, speechless, on how beautiful Rachel looks today. Just a bit of a trivia as well. When Rachel was small, we used to go to Beverley Park in Peyton, Devon, for our holidays, whether it was in a starter caravan or in the tourer. Rachel and Holly used to be the first up onto the dance floor and also taking part in competitions. The band entertainment got to know Rachel and Holly very well, and Derek, who was one of the band members, called Rachel the Peg Woman.
Did you?
Yes, he did. You don't remember that, do you? Yeah. So she used to dress up and she used to look actually like a peg woman. So that's why they called her the Peg Woman.
It's like teachers wear a bandana.
Yeah. So I have got a good memory sometimes. We are extremely proud of Rachel and has been through so much with her Crohn's disease and always, can't see that. Although I always fought it head on and never let standing in the way to reach her goals in life and eventually become Dr. Rachel Jones, education psychologist. So 5 years ago today, Rachel and Joe went on their first date. Joe met both Alison and myself on our first visit at the ship in Cardiff Bay after a Welsh international. And as you guessed, we were a bit worse for wear, but Alison was on the best behaviour for a change. It's obvious it turned out well as 4 months later, during lockdown, as everybody else has mentioned, and they moved in together into Joe's small one-bedroom flat with a balcony in Cardiff Bay and stayed there for nearly a year. So that's a test of anybody's relationship. Alison has said, if it had been us, I would have been over the balcony by day 2. Meeting Joe was the icing on the cake, and every day brings a smile to her face, even though Joe was not her first love. Unfortunately, Rachel's first love was a red in colour, had 5 wheels, and a girl called Vicky. Yes, Vicky. Vicky was a V-Reg Nissan Micra, and Rachel loved her so much. Rachel could have taken her to bed if she could have. But there's no need to worry anymore, as Vicky's been crushed and gone to the big scrapyard in the sky. Yeah. Alison and I would like to officially welcome Joe to the family. And now you're married, as I said before, you're unable to return the merchandise, as Rachel now passed the sell-by date. So please raise your glasses to Rachel and Joe. On behalf of Alison and myself, we wish her, like our daughter and our new son-in-law, all love and happiness for the future as husband and wife.
I think that's another 10 from the judges, isn't it, that one? Thank you, Philip. Thank you very much indeed. I mean, as I was saying at the ceremony earlier on, that marriage is wonderful but can be tricky. And I remember one of the guys who did commentary with me, a guy called Chris, lost his wife to his best friend. I mean, what a game of cards that was. Holly, you're next on. Here's the matron of honour and bride sister.
I'm Holly and I'm the maid of honour. Unfortunately for Rachel, I'm her one and only sister. When Rachel first told me she had booked the wedding, I told her I would only come to the wedding if I was maid of honour. And here I am today, so the threat had obviously worked. I first met Rachel 720,422 days ago, not to be precise or anything. When Rachel first set her eyes on me was when I was non-stop crying after I was born, and somehow Rachel was the only one who managed to stop me from crying. Now that's how you would all think how our bond started, but we all know I only had to take one look at her face to stop myself, and I haven't cried since. The age gap between me and Rachel is 5 years, and because of this, I ended up in speech therapy. Rachel would literally get me anything I would point at, which saved me from speaking, which kind of still happens now. When the doctor would show me pictures of animals, Mum said she could hear a little voice saying, "That's a snake," hoping it was me, but turned out to be Rachel. And that was the day Rachel got kicked out of speech therapy. As most of you know, Rachel has had a tough time with her Crohn's, and when she got told she was going to be admitted into hospital, she burst into tears and I burst into laughter. And at that point, Rachel had me by the throat, like Bart and Homer Simpson. Mum then tried splitting us up by chucking the nearest object she could see. I managed to move out the way, and that said object hit Rachel square in the face. And if you want to know what the said object is, it is actually a plate. As you can imagine, Rachel was having a great day. To top it off, I then asked her, "Well, if you're not coming home, can I have your bedroom?" I'm sure most of this stories, you can definitely tell I was the reason Rachel became a child psychologist. But I'm certain now, as we have gotten older, our bond has grown, and I do seem to like you now as my sister. I'm so proud of everything you have accomplished in life. I suppose one of us had to have the brains, and that was definitely you. You've helped me so much, even though I probably didn't appreciate it at the time, but I definitely do now. You stuck up for me when Dad dragged me down the stairs that day when I smashed the front door in, even though I wouldn't have done the same if it was you. You help me through all my assignments and every time I need that little push in life for my job. But I can't forget all the concerts we've been to together. I'm sure your favourite was when I fainted in McBusted and you ended up missing your favourite song. That's what sisterly love is. But even though we're sisters, we don't always have the same things in common. You are a vegan and I'm definitely not. I'm funny and Rachel's not. I'm always wrong and Rachel thinks she's always right. As we all know, Rachel works with children and I work with animals. But sometimes it's like working with the same thing. For example, the same week Rachel got bit by a child, I actually got bit by a dog. So I suppose we do have something in common. No offense to anyone that has children, okay? So talking about children, when Rachel first told me she was seeing Joe, my reply was, oh no, not that ginger one. And I remember saying to my friends, oh, Rachel's seeing this ginger boy and he looks like a cheap Ed Sheeran. But all jokes aside, I'd just like to say thank you to Joe for finally taking Rachel off her hands. I nearly had to pay someone as I was fed up of being Rachel's plus ones to places. And now you can finally be dragged to the vegan food festival. You truly are the best brother-in-law I could ask for. I know if I asked you for a favour, you would probably sit on it for a few days and then finally say yes to me. You actually laugh at my jokes instead of the disappointing face that Rachel gives me. But all I have to say is good luck because you're now stuck in this family. I love winding you up as much as you love winding me up, but I'd just like to say thank you for the love you give Rachel every single day. You've brought so much joy into her life as well as mine, and I can't wait to see where life takes you. Joe, I hope you have as much fun growing old with Rachel as much fun as I have had growing up with her. To my amazing sister and new brother-in-law, may your love continue to grow with each other with each passing day. May you always find reasons to laugh together, support each other's dreams, and cherish the connection you have. Rachel, you'll always be my annoying big sister, but I couldn't be proud of the woman you've become and the wife you'll be. If you'd all raise a glass, please. Here's to a lifetime of love, adventure, and happiness to Rachel and Joe.
Thank you, Holly. That was brilliant. Thank you very much indeed. Just finally, I'd just like to say I'm very grateful to play just a very small part myself in what is a beautiful day. Really is. Thank you very much indeed for inviting me just to do this little bit of linking. And last but not least, we're going to hear from the best man, Ewan.
I promise this will be the last speech, so I'll keep it short and sweet. For those who don't know me, I'm Ewan. And for those that already do, I can only apologise. It's truly an honour to stand here today as one of Joe's best men. Our journey together started in primary school and led us through high school and onwards to this day, with countless adventures in between. From unforgettable trips to Shell Island, Paris, Romania, and even Birmingham. With some house parties and pub quizzes sprinkled throughout. We've been through our fair share of scrapes, laughs, a lot of which have centred around our shared love for all things nerdy. From our childhood days glued to our PlayStation 1s, to our adult lives glued to our computers, and diving into epic D&D adventures. For the scrapes, I'll have to save those stories for a more appropriate day, because I've been banned from saying any of them. I spent so many days after high school at Joe's house. His mum, Annie, became like a second mother to me. In fact, I spent so much time there, in sixth form, the teachers tried to ban me from going because I was skipping too many classes.
I get to know that.
The teacher spoke to you and asked you to stop me coming. Yeah. One of my earliest memories of Joe was back in primary school, where we were convinced that if we ran down a hill fast enough while holding hands and flapping our arms, we could fly. Yeah. There was so little doubt in our minds that this would work, we even planned a small round trip to America with our packed lunches. I'd like to say it was down to childish imagination, but honestly, I wouldn't put it past either of us to believe this to this day. Over the years, I've seen Joe grow from a clumsy boy to a man. Admittedly, still clumsy, but is now a husband to a beautiful wife. Today, we're all in awe of how stunning Rachel looks. Along with her beautiful bridesmaids, they truly light up the room. I'd like to take a moment to thank everyone for being here today, especially those that have travelled far and wide to celebrate this special day. I know your presence means the world to Joe and Rachel. Here's to a lifetime of love, laughter, and many more adventures. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses and join me in toasting the newlyweds, Joe and Rachel, to a lifetime fasteners.
I think Ewan brought the Dead Sea Scrolls along there.
Well, I've got a couple of the stories I wasn't allowed to tell, but I'll keep them here.
We'll get to them later because it's supposed to be something old, something new, something borrowed and something blue, but you didn't do that. Well, look, that concludes the entertainment, as they say. For the rest of the day, eat, drink, and be merry, and raise your glasses again for the bride and groom.